Hi everyone, I'm Diana. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to give you 5 best shows to watch on Amazon Prime right now. Now these are not necessarily shows that have been released in 2020, but they're good shows nevertheless. I have watched all of them, I've liked all of them, and therefore I'm recommending them to you. So do watch them and let me know if you like them, and also if you would like to recommend some shows for me to watch. I'd love to hear from you. Also tell me what you think about the shows if you watched any of them. So let's get into them. So the first one is Modern Love, and this is a 2019 web television series about modern love basically, and it has a stellar cast of Dev Patel, Anne Hathaway, Olivia Cook, Ed Sheeran, Andy Garcia, Tina Fey, and a lot of other well-known actors. I think the total number of episodes in this series is 6, and I must be honest that I liked certain episodes more than I liked others. The one which had Dev Patel in it and Anne Hathaway in it I really liked because those stories resonated with me the most. But I mean, you watch it and you decide which ones you like the best. It kind of covers the whole gamut of love, you know, from family love to platonic love, sexual love, self-love, all of that. So I really enjoyed this series and I would definitely recommend it. The next show that I'd like to recommend is Penny Dreadful. Now this is a 3-season show that ran from 2014 to 2016, I think. The next season is supposed to be coming up in April 2020. I think it'll have a totally different cast of characters. So this first part is it's a British American series, and it has Eva Green, Timothy Dalton, Josh Hartnett, and you know, a lot of other amazing and brilliant actors. And the thing that I love about the series the most is that it has all these 19th century figures from literature. So we have Dorian Gray, we have Victor Frankenstein, we have Dr. Jekyll, Dr. Frankenstein, Count Dracula, Abraham Van Helsing. So yeah, it does contain a bit of sex and nudity, so it's not really child friendly. It's just an amazing series. And if you have any interest in 19th century literature, Gothic literature, or even if you don't, it's just an amazing series to watch. The next show that I'd love to recommend is Good Omens, which is based on the original book written by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. So if you're a Neil Gaiman fan, then you must watch this series. So the story is about Aziraphale, who is an angel and who was sent to earth by God to guard the Garden of Eden, and he was given a key to the garden which he accidentally gave to Adam and Eve. And we also have Crowley, who is the serpent who tempted Eve with the apple, and he has also been sent to earth. They are the representation of good and evil on earth, and they're really good friends actually, and they have to get together to find out who the Antichrist is and stop him and stop Armageddon from happening. So if you've read any of Neil Gaiman's books, then you'll know that this is like a really fun and funny series, and you know, you really must watch it because it's just amazing. Now the next series I'd like to recommend is The Bates Motel. Now this is a bit of an older series, but it's wonderful nevertheless. If you've read the book Psycho by Robert Bloch, or if you have watched the film, the original film by Alfred Hitchcock, you'll know who Norman Bates is. I mean, he's like now a cult figure in film history. So this series is about that Norman Bates and his mother Norma, who take over a motel basically, and all the things that happen over there. In the series, Norman is a youngster. He's like a teenager or maybe a young adult, and this kind of shows how he really descended into his mental illness and how his mother Norma protected him from the law, from other people. It examines his weird relationship with his mother, and it's kind of loosely based on the original Psycho. But in my opinion, if you were to actually watch that Psycho, that movie, or read the book, you would get a far better understanding of what's going on in the series, because this is like in a modern setting, but it's brilliantly done nevertheless, and I would definitely recommend it. The next film is The Exorcist, which again is loosely based on the Exorcist film. If you remember the original one, I think it was released in 1976, and in my opinion, despite the cringy special effects, we have progressed so far and we're able able to produce really scary films, and you know, the makeup and the costumes and everything are so advanced today. The Exorcist remains one of the scariest films of all time because of its plot, its execution, direction. Just the originality of that film is something that I think makes it one of the scariest films that I have ever watched till today. So if you watch that, then you will be able to relate to this series, and even if you haven't, it's okay, because this is just a very loose adaptation. It's just taken its basic idea from that film, and it tells of the story of the Rance family. Yeah, that's the name, Rance family. So they are husband and wife and two teenage daughters, and there's something strange going on in their house, and the mother, who's played by Gina Davis, she suspects that there's some demonic force in her house. Then one of the daughters becomes possessed by a demon, and there are two priests who are then called in to do the exorcism on this child. There are 2 seasons to this show, and I think after the second season the show was cancelled, but I am particularly fond of only the first season. The second season was not so interesting. I would say, in your mind, don't compare it to the original film if you've seen it, but it does have all those elements of, you know, horror and goriness that you may have experienced in that film. But even if you haven't watched the film, it's okay. I think if you watch this series, if you're a fan of horror, that is, or the paranormal, or you believe in ghosts and demons, or you just like watching scary shows, then this one, season 1, is definitely for you. So those were my recommendations for 5 shows on Amazon Prime that you must watch. If you've already seen some of them, please let me know what you thought about them in the comment section below. If you like this video, please don't forget to like it, and also to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I'll be back soon with another video. I'll see you then. Bye. I've actually forgotten which day of the lockdown it is. Horror films,